Welcome and good morning, everyone. I am Katie Cartman, the Director of Religious Education here at Emerson Unitarian Universalist Church in Houston, Texas. Our beloved community of faith, reason, and affection welcomes all to grow in mind and spirit as together we build a better world. If you are joining us for the first time this morning, we extend a special welcome and invite you to fill out our online visitor card so you can receive more information about Emerson and our activities. Again, welcome to all. Today, our interim minister, the Reverend Michelle LaGrave, leads worship with support from me and our two music directors, incoming music director Julia Morsher and outgoing music director Adrian Rodriguez, with Emersonian Dory Wolf on the tech deck. You'll notice that we've muted you. This helps all of us to hear the service better, and we encourage you to use the chat box. Following the worship service, we'll have coffee hour time, a chance for you to gather in smaller groups to discuss the service and what's going on in your lives. Reverend Michelle?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our service. This morning's service is about kindness. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, wherever you find yourself on your life's journey, whichever your pronouns, whether you've walked in or rolled in or dialed in, whomever you love, you are welcome here. Listen. Can you hear it? The Spirit is calling. It calls us in the silence and through the noise and busyness of our daily lives. It calls us in the brightness of the day and the darkness of the night, in times of hope and despair. Listen. Can you hear it? The Spirit is calling. It doesn't matter what you call it, for it has no name and has many different names. The Spirit of life, the Spirit of love, the Spirit of compassion, the Spirit of hope, the Spirit of justice. Listen, can you hear it? The Spirit is calling. It's calling to you and to me. It's calling us to greater wholeness, greater connection, greater service, greater love. It's calling us to heal the brokenness within ourselves, in others, and in the world. It's calling us to live more deeply. It's calling us to beauty. It's calling us to laugh and dance and sing. It's calling us to live through life's pain and sorrow. It's calling us to live courageously and kindly, to speak our truth in love, and to bend the moral arc of the universe toward justice. It's calling us into community. It's calling us into the greater life of all. Listen. Can you hear it? The Spirit is calling.
Every Sunday, Unitarian Universalists across the country and around the world light a chalice as a symbol of our faith. If you have a chalice at home or perhaps a candle, we encourage you to grab that now and light it as I read and we read together the chalice lighting. Little flame, light the tender kindling of our souls, and soon a roaring blaze shall be of warmth and love in community. From this little spark, may a fire of passion spread from heart to heart and light our way, sweet Spirit, and light our way. And now if you would join us in singing our opening hymn, Do You Hear?
Hear the cry, feel them still, hear the heart's call to will, hear the sigh starting trill in your soul, in your soul. From the place where you stand to the outermost strand, do you hear, oh my friend, do you hear, do you hear? All the dreams, all the dares, all the sighs, all the prayers, they are yours, mine and theirs. Do you hear, do you hear?
Good morning. We live in a world where sometimes bad things happen. Sometimes we don't know what to do, but if we listen, if we pay attention, we can find a way to be kind. Our story today is Be Kind by Pat Zietlow Miller, illustrated by Jen Hill. Let me go ahead and share that screen. Tanisha spilled grape juice yesterday, all over her new dress. Everyone laughed. I almost did too, but Mom always tells me to be kind, so I tried. I don't think it worked. I said, "Purple is my favorite color." I thought Tanisha would smile, but she ran into the hall instead. When she came back, snack time was over. She put on her art smock and didn't look at anyone. I almost told Tanisha that art was my favorite class, but I didn't want her to leave again. So I painted purple splotches and added some green until I had a bunch of beautiful violets. While I painted, I thought about Tanisha. Should I have handed her my napkin? Let her borrow my sweatshirt? Spilled my juice so everyone stared at me instead? What does it mean to be kind anyway? Maybe it's giving, making cookies for Mr. Rinaldi who lives alone, letting someone with smaller feet have my too tight shoes. He might win races in them too. Maybe it's helping, putting dirty dishes in the sink, cleaning up after Otis, our class guinea pig. He's a messy eater. Maybe it's paying attention, telling Desmond I like his blue boots, asking the new girl to be my partner, listening to Aunt Franny's stories, even the ones I've heard before. Being kind should be easy, like throwing away a wrapper or recycling a bottle, or saying, "Thank you, bless you." My mom says the quickest way to be kind is to use people's names. Hey, Kayla. What's new, Omar? Good afternoon, Rabbi Mandelbaum. Being kind can be hard too, even when you know what to do. Teaching someone something I'm good at is tricky, even when I'm patient. And sticking up for someone when other kids aren't kind is really hard and really scary. Maybe I can't solve Tanisha's grape juice problem. Maybe all I can do is sit by her in art class and paint this picture for her, because I know she likes purple too. Maybe I can only do small things, but my small things might join small things other people do, and together they could grow into something big. Something really big, so big that all our kindnesses spill out of our school, spread throughout town, travel around the country, and go all the way around the world. Right back to Tanisha and me, so we can be kind again and again and again. And now, Julia.
Giving out of what is our own is a transformative act. As a community of faith, we collect an offering not for ourselves or our congregation, but to give to others as a collective action of our community and as a way to live out our shared values. Please give with a generous heart to support the August Share the Plate recipients. Rebuilding Together Houston. For nearly 40 years, Rebuilding Together has been the only organization in our region to provide hundreds of families annually with non-disaster repairs. Their work adds 10 to 20 years to the life of a home, making the home safe, livable, and more resilient against disaster. They enlist community volunteers and licensed contractors to repair the homes of low-income elderly, U.S. military veterans, homeowners with disabilities, and working families in need. Learn more at rebuildinghouston.org. And as always, 25% will go to Interfaith Ministries Meals on Wheels, feeding Houston seniors. We have 3 ways to give. You can text the number on the screen, go to our webpage for online giving, or if you prefer to mail a check, yes, we are still collecting the mail at church.
Please find a comfortable place to be or in your seats and place your feet flat on the floor if you can, if you will, so that you might feel grounded, more connected to the earth which nourishes and sustains us all. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, and take a deep breath in. As together we enter into a time of meditation, followed by silence. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment, like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go, so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and ride, thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers eating maize and chicken will stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he too was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore, only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to mail letters and purchase bread, only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is you, it is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere like a shadow or a friend. Let us enter into the silence together now. Amen, and blessed be.
Kindness is in short supply these days. It's evident on our highways, in crowded public places, in our political discourse, and in social and commercial media. In place of everyday courtesy, we encounter glaring contempt. Gracious acknowledgement has given way to disregard, and where polite conversation or civil debate once reigned, we are blitzed by name-calling, insults, and derision. Outshouting the other guy has become the strategy of the day. It doesn't feel good, and it doesn't feel right. Beyond not feeling good, there's plenty of evidence that the unkindness and incivility that surrounds us is destructive to our health, our relationships, our happiness, and even our career success. And there's a mounting body of research showing that kindness improves health and extends longevity, strengthens our relationships, boosts business success, and contributes greatly to our overall happiness. There may be a few bullies and tyrants who scoff at kindness, viewing it as a weakness, but the truth is very much the opposite. Kindness is a strength, a superpower that has the capacity to transform lives and change the world. If there's going to be a change, it's up to us to make it. Creating a kinder world is something we can all do. It doesn't require rallying people or institutions. It's not costly. We can do it anywhere and at any time. It doesn't demand that we be smart or rich or that we be articulate or outgoing. It only requires that we pay attention. And when we face a choice of how we will respond, we choose kindness.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole.
In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Kindness matters. Kind people are my kind of people. Human kind, be both. Spread kindness. Choose kindness. Radiate kindness. Be kind. And my personal favorite, throw kindness around like glitter. These are some of the more common slogans found on message t-shirts about kindness. In fact, messages of all kinds about kindness abound these days, and they have proliferated to such a degree they have even spread to cookies. This is a photo of an ad for Oreo cookies. It says, "Kindness rules all." This is a cookie inspired by Lady Gaga. Now, while I am all in favor of kindness itself and as a spiritual practice, I have some serious doubts about the effectiveness of spreading kindness via t-shirt advertising campaign. And this comes from someone who loves to collect message t-shirts. Let me explain a bit more. Many years ago, while early in seminary and while taking my first unit of clinical pastoral education, I was asked to share a personal theological statement, which I did. And I ended that statement with a list of personal commandments, my own version of the 10 commandments, though I only had 7, for how to live my life on a daily basis. This is what I wrote. I choose to live my life by these commandments. Be honest and kind. Take responsibility for your actions. Improve the quality of life for yourself and all others. Tread lightly on the earth. Listen. Be thankful. Live your faith. I liked them. Actually, I loved them. I thought they were really a pretty great set of commandments to live by. But then I got challenged by my CPE supervisor. Anyone want to guess which word she found to be problematic? Kind. It was be kind that she took issue with. Now, it is the job of a CPE supervisor to challenge their students as a way of encouraging them to grow into better ministers. And she had challenged me plenty before, and she usually had something of great worth to say. And I learned and grew a great deal as a result of her teaching. So I tried to really pay attention to what she was saying, and I tried to understand. But the truth is, I never fully got it. So I shrugged my shoulders, let the mystery be, and moved on for years, until more recently when I began reading the book, A Year of Living Kindly by Donna Cameron. Cameron opened her first chapter by explaining that being kind is not the same thing as being nice. I think that when I said be kind, my CPE supervisor heard something more like be nice. We came from different parts of the country. She from the South with its emphasis on Southern manners. Me from the North with its emphasis on personal privacy and reserve. So now I think we simply had very different cultural understandings of what it meant to be kind. And so the kid from this morning's story who asked the question, what does it mean to be kind anyway, got right to the heart of the matter. Is being kind the same as being nice, being polite, having good manners, being helpful, being generous? Maybe not quite. This is how Cameron distinguishes kindness from other things. Being kind, truly kind, is hard. Being kind means caring. It means making an effort. It means thinking about the impact I'm having in an interaction with someone and endeavoring to make it rich and meaningful, giving them what they need at that exact moment, without worrying about whether I get anything in return. It means letting go of my judgments and accepting people as they are. Kindness requires me to reach out and take a risk. Nice doesn't ask too much of us. It isn't all that hard to be nice. In fact, it's easy. It's also benign, passive, safe. One can be nice without expending too much energy or investing too much of oneself in others. One can be nice without taking risks. Nice is holding the door, smiling at the cashier, Nice may even be dropping a couple of dollars in a homeless person's hand if we do so without looking him in the eye, without asking how we can help, offering our hands, or engaging in conversation that goes beyond the superficial. If kindness is not the same as niceness, as Cameron suggests, what else is kindness not? I would add that kindness is not the same as conflict avoidance. Conflict avoidance is destructive. Kindness is not. When we humans avoid conflict, the problems, issues, and their associated feelings do not go away. They get stuffed inside like a pressure cooker. And after enough time goes by, the pressure cooker erupts. The problems, issues, and feelings all come out in a much more difficult to deal with and harmful manner than they would have had they been dealt with earlier on. Conflict avoidance, when taken to extremes, can lead to congregations, families, even entire societies splitting apart. Kindness, on the other hand, is addressing conflict in a direct, caring, gently curious, compassionate, and understanding way early in the process. Kindness is also not the same exact thing as helpfulness. Helpfulness can actually be done in a very unkind way. Helpfulness, or the guise of helpfulness, much like niceness, can get distorted. One way helpfulness gets distorted is by insisting on giving the help we think someone else needs and ignoring or not paying attention to the help the person themselves identify as what they need or want. This often takes the form of privilege. I know better than you what it is that you need. Another way helpfulness gets distorted is when we ignore or downplay our own needs in order to help someone else. This tends to show up when good boundaries are not maintained. And when taken to an extreme, some forms of helpfulness morph into enabling, codependent, even pathological behavior. Kindness, on the other hand, means paying attention, offering help that is actually wanted, and setting good, strong boundaries in the ways we offer help. Yes, paying attention, as the character in this morning's story suggests, and the reading reiterates, is key to practicing kindness. We need to first be able to truly see another person, not with our eyes, though that can be helpful, but in their essence. We need to first be able to truly listen to another person, not with our ears, though that too can be helpful, but again, to their essence. Once we can truly see and hear another person, not with our ear, once we can truly see and hear another person, only then can we truly be kind. And this, as Naomi Shihab Nye alludes in her poem Kindness, relies on our capacity to feel empathy. One way we can work on building our spiritual capacity for empathy comes from the Buddhist tradition in the form of loving kindness meditation. A study from the University of Sussex, which came out a few years ago, found that just 7 minutes of practicing loving kindness meditation while focusing on the image of another person could reduce racial prejudice. Just 7 minutes. There are many additional benefits to being kind, of course, both to society in general and to individuals. Doctors who are kind have been proven to have better patient outcomes. Businesses that emphasize kindness are more successful, and kindness improves our physical health as well as our relationships. Perhaps most interestingly, both kindness and rudeness have been shown to spread as widely and easily as, well, a virus. When a congregation's or a community's or a society's top leaders are rude, so too goes the way of the people. Even when we are mere witnesses to, not the actual targets of, said rudeness, and vice versa. We can, as the child in this morning's story wildly imagines, spread kindness all over the world until it comes right back to us again. So if, as it seems, there is plenty of motivation out there to be more kind, why aren't we? What gets in our way? Cameron, in A Year of Living Kindly, offers up several barriers to kindness for our examination. They include fear, time, or the perceived lack of time, impatience, laziness or inertia, indifference, a sense of entitlement, obliviousness, the habit of saying no, and fatigue, including compassion fatigue. That means if we are to be more kind, we must practice being more patient, caring more about how our actions impact another person, regardless of our intent, by better learning to recognize privilege, both where it exists for ourselves and where it does not exist for others, by getting better at suspending judgment and learning to act instead with gentle curiosity, and most of all, by simply paying better attention. So, the next time you or I put on a t-shirt about kindness, let us wear it with intention as a reminder to pay attention to how we want to go about our days and nights, engaging in a spiritual practice of kindness, a spiritual practice based in empathy and fulfilled in action. Let us put on those t-shirts so that kindness might go with us everywhere, as Nye says, like a shadow or as a friend. Let us put on those t-shirts like the superhero costumes they are, because kindness truly is a superpower. The more kindness that exists in the world, the better off we all will be. More kindness will go a long way toward improving the quality of interactions and relationships among people and improving the quality of life for all of us. While I am not convinced that kindness alone can completely dismantle any system of oppression, I am also convinced that we can't do any dismantling without kindness. I see kindness as a critical and essential component of doing the work of justice. Without it, we diminish ourselves and each other as human beings. Perhaps we can all take a lesson from the Dalai Lama, who has said, "My religion is simple. My religion is kindness." May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.
Our closing hymn is a tribute to Adrian on his last Sunday with us. Please join me in singing hymn 14 as we leave this friendly place in your gray hymnal.
Adrian, we extinguish this flame today, but we do not extinguish the light that you have left behind with all of us. Go now in peace, with love in your hearts, kindness on your lips, and compassion at your fingertips. Blessing all others as you yourselves are blessed. Our worship has ended. Now our service begins. Amen, and blessed be. So we close our service today